Have you ever received an urgent requisition only to look and find out that the quote attached is from 6 months ago and now it is urgent? How about this? You are invited to a project planning meeting. Fantastic. We love it when procurement is invited early to be a part of the process, to get ahead of things. Awesome. However, as you're sitting there and you're listening, you are finding out that they have been meeting for 11 months and they just pulled procurement in because they need to get the contract signed and executed next week. What? OMG. How about this? And I know this has happened to you. You get a contract request marked hot for an annual event that's happening next week. Wait, what? They didn't have the foresight to think of procurement for this event that happens every single year, and now it's marked hot? Drop everything, procurement. Come on, let's go. That's okay. I've come up with an acronym, PCP, to help end user requesters engage with procurement early. We all have our TLAs, 3-letter acronyms. All industries have them. That's great. We all have our own jargon. In procurement, we have RFQs, QBS, RFPs. It goes on and on and on. I have even made up some of my own. One of them is PCP. Now hold on, it's not what you think. PCP is an acronym. It's a framework so end user requesters can think of procurement and think of them early. The first letter in the acronym PCP is partner. Partner really is associated with your MOUs, your no cost agreements. I have this intentionally up front because oftentimes procurement isn't thought of for these no cost dollar value. MOUs, memorandums of understanding, sometimes they're called letters of intent, partnership agreements. However, I have seen so many MOUs written like a contract. They have indemnification, hold harmless language, and all of the risk is transferred to your organization. I have even seen some MOUs where they actually have financial consideration, a dollar value attached to this. I have had people within certain organizations I've worked at sign these MOUs, and they had no business signing these MOUs. In fact, I know they did not know what they're signing. Do you know how I know? Do you know how I know? Because I had to read the thing 3 damn times to understand what was actually happening. That's why I have the first letter in the acronym PCP as partner, so they can think of procurement early, even when there is no financial transaction, because it is very important that we review these and we don't obligate our organization or burden the organization by assuming all of the risk with these partnership agreements. Welcome to Procurement Leadership. My name is Mark Logan, and I am a servant leader and procurement and contract subject matter expert with over 25 years of experience in this industry. I am not an academic. I am not a philosopher. I am a real-world practitioner who has lived it, breathed it in procurement, and I welcome you to the Procurement Familia. If you like what you're hearing so far, do all that YouTubey stuff. Click the bell, follow, comment, and be sure to follow Procurement Leadership for more. Welcome to the Procurement Leadership Familia. The C in PCP stands for contract. We in procurement, you in procurement, we are the experts when it comes to reviewing, drafting, and negotiating a plethora of contracts. Oftentimes, we have to get legal involved or a certain subject matter expert based upon the scope of work or the technical specifications within the contract. We need to review the contract to make sure they're fair and balanced and make sure the appropriate amount of risk is transferred for both parties. So it's fair and balanced. The C in PCP stands for contract, which leads me to the third letter in PCP, which is pay. Sounds pretty straightforward. Oftentimes there's a requisition. That requisition is processed into a purchase order. We don't want to get the cart before the horse and issue the purchase order after the goods or services has been provided. No bueno. We don't want to do that. We need to make sure procurement is involved upfront and early before this happens, so we can review the transaction, review the request, see if there's any risk, mitigate those risks. Also, importantly, when we issue that purchase order to the supplier, vendor, or consultant, we are attaching the organization's terms and conditions to that purchase order. In case something goes awry, those purchase order terms and conditions are governing the contract. All right, let's wrap this up. I've shared an acronym with you, PCP, that you can use in your organization so end user requesters can engage with procurement early. It's an acronym that I use. PCP stands for Partner, Contract, and Pay. When I onboard all new managers and appropriate staff when they come to my organization. You do onboard all of your new managers and appropriate staff of your organization, don't you? Look, no judgment here, but I suggest you do. PCP is a framework that I use when I onboard and actually have a tool, a framework. It's actually a PowerPoint that you can download for your own use. Go to procurementleadership.com. Feel free to download it. Again, it's free. It's tailored so you can modify it and make it your own. PCP is one of the tools that are within this PowerPoint. There are many other things as well. Again, it's a resource that you can feel free to download. More importantly, I'd love to hear what acronyms you use on a regular basis. And what acronyms have you come up with and created on your own? I'd love to hear them. Put them in the comments below. This is Mark Logan with Procurement Leadership. I really appreciate you joining us here and welcome to the Procurement Leadership Familia. This is Mark Logan signing off for now.